Curtis, DIY.
DIYers. Oh man, it finally happened. It finally happened. DIYers. Whoa. Let's not double up on that. Man, it is an absolute honor to be joined by a living legend, someone whose creation and website that he founded, he's a CEO of, and BeatStars has changed many lives, including my own, especially when I was full-time selling beats. But the work he continues to do now in this new realm of things is so needed for human being producers. It's insane to have to say that in 2025. But man, I'm joined here today by Abe. Before I get into this formal introduction, Abe Batshon, please tell these people a little bit about yourself.
Curtis, man, thank you so much for having me here, man. I actually dreamt of this moment. You know what I mean? Like, Mama, I made it.
Wait, you dreamt it?
I'm on Curtis King TV. No, man, like this is like a dream come true moment, bro, to be honest with you, because we were kids when we were first doing this thing online, me and you. We were kids a long time ago.
So for real.
You know, and to see you continue to do what you're doing and consistently standing ground, you know what I mean, and being the same guy from back then till now, still advocating for independent creators' rights and just human art, bro. Like, man, it's beautiful. Some of these conversations you be having on your YouTube channel are crazy,
man. I love
conversations, you know. So I'm tuned in. Well, listen, I'm Abe Batshon. I'm the CEO. I'm the CEO of BeatStars. So, you know, but you know, and you know, if you don't know what BeatStars is, it's a global music licensing platform for human-made music for human beings to explore their artistic expression in so many different ways. You know what I mean? To have a whole buffet of vibes and beats and styles of music that they can enter into. And it's where songs get made and still gets made. Millions and millions of songs a year are being made on BeatStars every single year, where producers and artists come together to make magic happen, get Grammy nominations, get Billboard charts, you know, hit songs, number ones. And it's just cool to see. It's just cool to see the community just do their thing, man. So I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to be in the position I'm in, Curtis. And I know you feel the same way too, bro. Like we have a different duty, you know, and I'm just grateful, bro. Just grateful to still be here 17 years later, bro.
It's insane. Some days it doesn't even kick in. So I saw today Music Soul Child put up a post about his first album. He said, "Happy 25th anniversary." And I said, "You're a liar. You are a liar, Mr. Soul
me
Child."
And my wife's wedding song, you know.
Word. Oh, come on. Time just passes by and you don't realize it. Like I was talking to a phenomenal artist on the come up, Chris Patrick, and he was like, "Man, I used to watch your videos," and he's on tour with JID. So I'm like, it's crazy to see how it all comes full circle. But let me brag on you for a second, man. Today we're joined by Abe Batshon, the founder and CEO of BeatStars, the global digital marketplace that's paid over $400 million to creators and serves millions of producers and artists in 200 plus territories. Today, we're going to be talking about how it began from its humble roots, how producers today wrestle with content creation and showing their face, and dive deep into the biggest shakeup in music right now, which is, of course, AI, and how BeatStars is standing firm for creators in this AI age. Once again, welcome, Abe. Look, so I want to start with the humble beginnings, because you created something that, like I said, it's very rare that something is created that affects so many people's lives in the way that this one uniquely does. I want to start at the beginning. What problem did you see in the producer space that made you want to create BeatStars?
Yeah, well, I think it all really started out, I'll be honest, in AOL chat rooms, man. AOL chat rooms. I was buying beats from like produce in the 90s. I was probably one of the first beat buyers, bro.
That's crazy. If you were doing it in AIM, you might have been the first one.
I might have been one of the first guys like haggling for beats, because yeah, like I remember I met shout out to Showdown from Rocket Productions. I don't know if you know Rocket Productions back in the day.
Nah.
Remember them? And they're from Alabama. And I used to love his beats, bro. I used to love his beats. And we met on AOL and then one of those chat rooms, and then went on AIM and started chatting. And he would send snippets because, you know, you couldn't even download a full MP3 back then. It was so hard. It was so.
It's a different world. These kids don't know how easy they got it, bro. It was a different world. You had to.
Yeah, I used to click download and come back to it a couple hours later.
Loud ass 56K modem. Oh my gosh.
They don't even know the struggle. So yeah, he would send snippets, and then I would hit him back with just like, yo, this is a really dope beat. You know, how much you want for it. And back then everyone just knew exclusive. There was no non-exclusive yet. Yeah. So he was trying to sell me on exclusive. And I'm from West Side Hayward, man. We couldn't I'm a family of refugees. We did not have exclusive money, you know? Right, and I'm like, bro, I got $10 for you. I got $20 for you. You can keep selling it. And I would you can keep selling it. Just give me the MP3. And he's like, okay. So he just wanted to collab with me.
Right.
He just wanted to collab. He didn't care. And at that time, it was just a brand new baby industry of things. You know what I mean? So there was no rules. It was just like, name your price and here's your files. And there might not have even been an agreement. I don't even think there was like even agreements. But I would get a CD in the mail. I know you know a few things about sending out CDs.
The PTSD that I got right now, remembering sitting for 30 minutes for
burning CDs,
to burn, only to get the error at the 99% number. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Going to Fry's Electronics and getting the bundle by the 100 and printing out the CD labels on a color printer that had no business printing them out because it was my grandmother's while watching Purple Rain in the background. Yeah, I remember a lot of these things for sure.
I was doing the same thing, bro. BeatStars used to have Beat Kings at the time. Used to have on the checkout, you can add for $9.99, you can add a CD shipping back in the day. Because back then, even when we first started BeatStars, not everybody had broadband like they have now. Even when
what year are you talking about?
2008, 2009.
That's crazy.
Like broadband was still not like crazy accessible the way it is now, like gigabyte downloads and things like that. That wasn't happening. But yeah, so yeah, he would just mail me CDs, man, and mail me all the file. I couldn't wait to get something in the mail. And
I don't mean to laugh, but it's just funny to hear that it is mailing CDs. Just got hella beats, you know. But that's how it was, especially talking about Guitar Center. You couldn't get anything that wasn't on DVD-ROM or CDR or CDRW.
Yeah, no, it was great. I still have them. I still have all the
have them.
Yep, that I bought back in the day.
Yeah,
I still have all those. Yeah, I should pull up some of those beats, man. I bet you they're right now. Like, I bet people want that kind of stuff right now.
Man, you know? I think those people also. There's a few names I think of. There was a guy, I don't know if you ever heard of him, JC Beats. This is a JC Beats production.
Yeah, I remember.
He was big on MP3.com around the same time period that you're talking about.
That's where I went next.
You went next. Okay,
MP3.com was next. MP3.com was next. Yeah, I loved MP3.com, bro.
If it wasn't for him, I don't know if I would have had access to anything except for whatever popped up on BearShare or LimeWire as an instrumental that probably came from some DJ that uploaded it illegally or whatever the case may be.
B-sides, just some B-sides. Yep.
Yeah, but that exposure to it, man, it gave you access to some quality production from folks from places I've never probably been at that time. You know what I mean?
I tried to go into the studio. With some high-profile Bay Area producers at the time, and it was just too expensive, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't get in. There was an access fee, and they knew I didn't have it, so I wouldn't even be invited. You know what I mean? You know,
first time the producer told me.
Some of them are my friends now. I love these guys now. So shout out to EA Ski. Shout out to EA Ski.
They know what it is. Like they know how things have changed. The first producer ever hit me with a price. I was in high school with him, and he said, "Yeah, I'll give you exclusive rights for $350." And I said, "You mean $3.50? Because we're in the same boat right now. We in high school. Where do you think that money coming from?"
Did you start as a rapper first too? Before you
did.
Okay.
I started off as a rapper, and I low key got a peer pressure to make beats because we went to Electronic Boutique before it became, the GameStops of the world. And we were supposed to say we both had money of our own to go get a game, which was NBA 2K3 on Dreamcast. And I went to the used section, look past Crash Bandicoot, look past Tomb Raider, and I saw MTV Music Generator, and I was like, "Hey, my man,
you're one of those guys that got the music generator." That's where everyone, a lot of people was. was getting exposed to make the music making. For me, it was Cool Edit Pro. You remember Cool Edit Pro?
I had that too. Shout out to Peter Quistard.
That shit was fire.
Yeah. No,
yeah.
That's how I started out. Well, see, that's the thing about it, man, is that it's those. That's what was accessible for me, even though that was a time period, as you remember, where if you didn't have hardware, most established producers didn't look at you as a serious professional.
We were software first people. We were like the software first. We didn't have no hardware.
Nah, man.
There was no hardware.
Hey, but in those early days for you, before the millions of users that use the service as BeatStars, what does success look like to you?
Yeah, man. Like, again, like, just seeing the void in the marketplace. And then, we went from mp3.com, right? We're trying to trend on there, and there was a lot of instrumentals on there. I would find beats on MP3, and then they got bought out, I think, by like CBS or whoever it was, and they fucked it up. They fucked it up,
They always do.
Tore it up. And then we all jumped. Then we all jumped to SoundClick to buy beats. SoundClick was the next wave, and SoundClick had a bunch of instrumentals. But again, there was no automated way at the time to really like purchase a beat. It was just a PayPal button. And I might have bought some beats from you too. And it was like all just manual. It was all just manual, right? You know what I mean? It was all manual. And it used to frustrate me, man. It's like I grew up around a whole family of entrepreneurs. Like my grandma was a boss, man. My grandma, I was raised by my grandmother, man. She's, she's a 48 before 1948 refugee in Palestine. Her husband died and my grandfather died in his 30s, but I never met him. And he had 4 kids from a previous marriage where his wife passed away. So my grandma was this 20-something with 8 kids. 8 kids. And she's a seamstress, and she's got to figure everything out. She was the ultimate like DIYer.
Yeah.
Ultimate DIYer. She came, thankfully they got to the States in like 78, 79 after the 76 war and 67 war in Palestine. And there was a family member that got them out here, and they went first. They landed in Connecticut in the East Coast. They did some things there. It was too cold for them. They couldn't hang. They're like, yo, we're from the desert. This don't, So they moved to the Bay. They got to the Bay. Yeah. And my grandma had the first ever video rental shop for Egyptian, North African, Middle Eastern movies. Music.
It was written in stone. This is bound to happen.
And it was subscription service. It was a subscription. I swear. She had a subscription.
What year is this?
Late 70s, early 80s.
Hold on, it's a DIY legend. One time for a DIY. That's crazy.
Shout out to Soraya. Shout out to Soraya. I love her, man. God rest her soul, man. She raised me, man. I shared a room with her my whole life. And she was the ultimate hustler. She taught me about money, how to save money, how to make money, how to appreciate money, how to thank God for the money, what the responsibility to God, a trust that you have with God. When you do have money, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to leave behind? How are you going to try to, make other people successful? And how are you going to give back? And what are you going to do with it? Right? It's a responsibility. A lot of people think that rich people with a lot of money, a lot of people think that, that they're the lucky ones, they're the lucky. No, people with money have the biggest test. People with money have the biggest test. It's easy to be poor. It's easy. It's easy to be thankful, grateful, and have nothing. I was there too, right? We've been there too, right? Right. But when you have the response, when you're paying out, like you said, $400 million to creators, and you're generating millions and millions of dollars for your company, and you have to invest it here, and you got to do. These are the biggest tests. God is like, what are you going to do with this test I'm going to give you? What are you going to do? Are you going to help make other people successful, or are you going to hoard? Are you going to hoard it all? Are you going to cut people out because of efficiency and capitalism? Are you going to cut people out for profit only? And that's the only reason why you exist. One day we all got to meet the maker, bro. And one day we got to meet him.
And daily before we even meet him, before we meet the maker, I should say, we got to look in the mirror too. And I think a lot of people avoid.
You got to look at your people you serve too. Yeah.
You
serve too.
And I can't even imagine, man. It's crazy to hear the humble beginnings, because my brain, as much as I do as a DIYer, my brain can't even comprehend when, I never forget when I I think the server went down at BeatStars. I sat here and everybody had a thought about, oh, what happened to my beat store? I thought about you. And I thought about,
oh God.
I thought about how is this man managing a moment like this? And you know, it happens at an hour that you can't predict, things like that. I empathize with you, but I love your message on top of this of saying that you don't have to be pretty much, you don't have to be an asshole to become massively successful in the way that you guys have been. And I think a lot of people kind of hold on to that, and they do it early. They become an asshole early, thinking that that's going to set them up for success, and they end up just being an asshole.
Well, I know what it is, man. Growing up next to a real life refugee that's been through some shit. Growing up next, like in the same room, listening to her stories and listening about what real oppression is like, what real apartheid is, what real disenfranchising like people because of their belief or because of their race or because of, and then growing up in Hayward around, you know, African American and Mexican community, Latino community, and those are all my friends and my family, and growing up and seeing the struggles that they got to go with, and I tied it with my struggle, the Palestinian struggle. It at the end of the day, bro, it's powerful people stomping on the weak, and the weak people trying to climb up and gain leverage so we can try to balance this thing. You know what I mean? But most of the time it's like it's really hard to climb that ladder when you're down at the bottom. You know, we started BeatStars with nothing, man. Nothing, zero.
When you mean you started with nothing, like you talking about just coming straight out of pocket, or what do you mean when you say, what do you mean specifically?
My wife was buying my beats on SoundClick. She was my when she was my girlfriend. So she believed in me as an artist first, you know. She believed in me as an artist first. I was trying to knock down doors as an artist first, you know, because I wanted to spread the message of what's really going on in Palestine, like what's really happening. And people didn't know back then in the 90s. I was making my first song was called Palestine Will Rise back in 96, 95, right? No, before any artist was even before any celebrity right now is talking about it, bringing light to it. You know, thank God for that now. But we've known about this struggle for a very, very long time. We've seen it. We've lost family members. We lost cousins. I lost my first cousin. I lost my family in Gaza. They were bombed and killed. This is a 77-year history and struggle. And how am I, someone who's gone through that, family have lost everything, our land, our identity, our race, our name. We can't even say we're Palestinian. They've erased us from the map. And I'm not going to go help these producers who look like me, who sound like me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to help another oppressed community or artist community like get access. Well, all they want is like access. All they want is a fair shot to build something, to be entrepreneurs. How am I going to go through that and then be the businessman I am today and not embody what my family has went through and not bring that with me to what BeatStars is today? You know what I mean? The problem is not a lot of entrepreneurs that look like us. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of entrepreneurs that look like us, that have been through that. So the guys that are starting at the top now, the AI guys, they came in with money. Mom and dad.
We're going to talk about it today. Look, hold on. Let me hit you with this one. It's your first one of the day. It's your first one of the day. It's your first one of the day, sir. Look, but see, you and I know that because we understand the importance and the priority of integrity, but there are people that look like us. There are people who get into these positions and they come across somebody who's able to buy off that integrity. And so I think at some point it is a character decision. It is a sense of being grounded, and then also not being afraid to be around people that, you know, can call you out on your shit. So what do you think beyond your own personal journey and the things that you remembered, what kind of things kept you grounded as this thing has bubbled up to paying out 400 million creators is insane.
I mean, I don't even like to even think about the past. You know, in terms of like, I don't even celebrate my own birthday, bro. Like, don't wish me happy birthday. I got a purpose. I got to finish. There's something bigger that's on my plate than celebrating little wins or even the $400 million win. What about the other 25 million producers around the world that need to make a living? Hello. What about them? You know, it's like, what about all the artists as well too? Like, what about all kind of, like, I can't, it's hard. Like I do still have those sleepless nights where if I don't see progression, if I don't see growth, if I don't see the mission, you know, moving in the right direction, it, you know, keeps me up at night. And then when you have now, we didn't have this kind of competition that we're dealing with right now. Back in the day, we didn't have that. We didn't have what these guys are. They thought we were crazy. Oh, selling beats online and licensing music non-exclusively. Now they all want to do the same shit.
Hey, young blood, can you tell me a little bit more about that licensing beats online? I want to know a little bit more. You want to know 10 years after I've been removed? Like, you're right. It all came full circle. Yeah, and I remember people telling me in the industry, they told me, they were like, I think that's a very unwise decision, Curtis, for you to sell your beats online because of the optics of it. Like, for instance, I had somebody who was representing me who was going to these labels and they were basically talking on my behalf and selling off my production for possible placement. And he's like, if I'm doing this and I'm trying to get checks for $5,000 to $10,000 and you licensing stuff for $20, $25, like, you got to understand that changes negotiation. But I'm like, I need money right now, brother. But I can't tell Edison.
More importantly, you know what's crazy? What's so crazy, Curtis, is like, even like the OGs and even like the the industry producers back then, they used to laugh at us for selling beats on non-exclusive online. You know what I mean? They used to look down upon that. Even those guys didn't even know what a copyright was, bro. If they knew what a copyright was, bro, if they knew that this copyright lives on in multiple forms and thousands of different forms where they can scale, if they understood ownership, if they even understood ownership, they didn't even understand ownership back then. They were just selling rights away. They were just selling $100,000 for a beat, but they didn't own shit. They would sell all the rights away. So ownership was not something that was taught even to the OGs. It wasn't. That's why it was so foreign to them to see a open marketplace. Like, no, you're supposed to be controlled. Right. No, you're supposed to wait for an A&R to give you.
You know how crazy that sounds? You're supposed to be controlled. How crazy that sounds.
No, but that's what the industry was teaching them in LA.
No, I'm just saying, like, in retrospect now, like at the time, even me as a younger producer listening to them, I was like, maybe that's what it is. Like, maybe I'm just being stubborn and bullheaded. But then once again, like you said, you have family. You had a grandmother that was entrepreneurial and savvy about that. My dad, he was an entrepreneur in a few different places. Like, he had an insurance company at one point in time. He had a photo lab in Compton at one point in time. And so I saw the way he operated there, and certain things just didn't make sense no matter how much this person had influence. But because they're impressionable and because you want to get in the room, sometimes you'll say, yeah, okay, well, maybe that's something I need to compromise on if I want to be in this industry. But you're absolutely right.
Right. And I still think we have that problem. I still think the creator community, even online, they don't understand ownership. They don't understand copyrights. They don't understand intellectual property still to this day. Because if they really did understand, trust me, they wouldn't even upload to YouTube. If they really
break that down,
they wouldn't even upload to Spotify.
Yeah. Break that down for us. Why is that?
I mean, if just read the terms and conditions of YouTube, just read the terms and conditions of Spotify. Yeah, they block other third parties from, training on material that's on YouTube, but they don't explicitly talk about them not taking those rights and doing whatever they want with them. I mean, I was on YouTube the other day where I saw a new pop-up that said, "Oh, now your videos can be automatically altered for different audiences around the world and can be changed in different languages and different this and different that." I'm like, you're altering my intellectual property? That's standard now? You don't even, I can't even say no.
Yeah.
I can't even say no. So what's going to happen in the future? YouTube's, I already know I'm on the inside. They're developing an AI product. It's coming out and a bunch of labels have already opted into it. It's coming.
Wow.
It's coming. Wow. People don't know. It's being trained. It's being tested. Everyone's feeding it. Labels are easily given content to YouTube.
Yeah. When you say AI product, what do you mean? Like, as in like an AI only generative AI? Oh, yeah.
Music,
buddy.
Music, video. Yep.
Oh man, yeah. We that conversation. I'm gonna save that one because that's the meat and potatoes of the conversation. Yeah. But that is insane. I don't want to jump the gun too much because I know we have lots to talk about that. And the thing is,
we don't know our rights though. That's the problem.
We don't know our right.
We need to go on tour. We need to go on tour, just preaching rights, understanding your rights. And
especially when the laws are not catching up to it too. They're not regulating it in a timely manner, but it seems conflicted. And like I said, I don't want to jump the gun on it, but it seems conflicted because they're not regulating it at the speed that they're allowing it to be released, and at the speed of even seeing the way Soar was brought out into the atmosphere, and you're using the likeness of dead celebrities.
I downloaded that app and I deleted it right away. Once I started seeing Tupac, my idol.
Come on, man.
Once I started seeing Tupac, my revolutionary idol.
Yeah.
The guy that literally raised me, basically. His music literally raised me. Talking some clown shit on some Sora.
Come on.
Like one of the most important people in my life talking some clown shit. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna
start there. You start there. That's the part about it, is that I think that's the part that gets missed out, is that you're starting with these influential people because you know how pissed off people are going to get. Yeah. You know that in their pissed off nature, they're going to share it at a record speed.
MLK,
and it's going to be
MLK.
Come on, at a 7-Eleven, what are we doing right now? That's what you're
making monkey noises. What the fuck are we doing? These are historical figures that made change in the world, that changed the world with peace and love and revolution and equality. Like, we're doing that to our heroes. Come on, bro. You're not gonna erase my heroes. I'm sorry. You're not gonna erase my heroes, and you're not gonna erase my community as long as I'm living.
All I know is they're lucky Prince is not still here, because the way Prince was putting the hammer down on YouTube and all the streaming platforms, and the way that he would have came down on Sora, the lawsuit they would have had on their hands, because they put Prince and Michael Jackson in the video. I said, "Oh, you playing with fire?" And it's still in a state that exists. But let me save that one, because man, that's the richest conversation. We're gonna get there. I promise you. We got a few more questions leading up to it. Man, so what early decision, this is something I personally want to know, what early decision, maybe unpopular at the time for BeatStars, shaped the creator first culture of BeatStars?
Yeah, I think the really, it comes down to like 2 or 3 really early innovations that really like helped accelerate product growth. Okay. When we first came in the game, you couldn't even upload a wave anywhere. So that was number one. So it was like people were building products, but they didn't build products that accommodated all of the file types in the life cycle of a song, like the stems, the track outs, the waves, custom license agreements. And then, so that alone was a huge feat. When people can start uploading waves and stems and have custom license agreements, that's the first time it's ever been done in the history of music, right? And then when I buy something, I know who my customers are. I got their email address, I got their address, their phone numbers. They're my customers. I could remarket to them. I could talk to them. I could take them off BeatStars, off platform. Go ahead, do whatever you want. Build something with these things. And there was just another aha moment where people just didn't want to keep living in a prison of data where they didn't even have access to data. Like, imagine if Spotify gave us access to our fans. I can't even reach my fans, dog. I can't even talk to my fans. I can't do you know what I mean?
That's one of my biggest issues with a Spotify, is that how could you say you treat me as a business?
Yeah, how are you business owners? How
am I a business? What small business? And this is what most of us are as up and coming producers or independent artists. We're small businesses. What small business do you know that would be able to exist without an email list?
Come on.
At the very bare minimum, an email list. And you're trying to tell me I have no way of contacting my customers unless I use your platform, even though I shared in the traffic.
Everybody to pay a subscription. You want me to send everybody to go pay a subscription. You want me to send all my fans, and then if they listen to me, I don't get all that revenue because it's shared with market share with the rest of the knuckleheads that got music on there. That got a piece of it.
Or Abe, how about them 75 million songs that they deleted?
Yeah, that's a big one. But I'm skeptical about that.
Why is that?
About that, because I think there's 75 million new ones that have already been onboarded that they haven't deleted.
So real. That's
real.
Know what I mean? That's real. Did you see the study with Deezer the other day where they said that they, I guess, put the AI music on their platform to a test? You know, for those who don't know, Deezer is another platform you can stream music on, and they said that they did a test of their audience, and they said about 97% of their audience couldn't dictate the difference between AI music and music made by humans.
I believe it.
It's insane.
Listen, customers want convenience. they don't care how the sausage is made. You know what I mean? The customer, like me, when I'm listening to a song, I'm not like put yourself in the fan mode, just listening to music back when you were a kid, right? You're not thinking about how the beat was made. You're not thinking about how the lyrics were written. You're not thinking about the recording studio session that came with that song. Like, I just want to enjoy this song. Like, I just want to enjoy this song. I just want to enjoy this concert. I just want to enjoy this product that's available. Like, for the most part, they're not interested in how the sausage is made, but that's very fucking dangerous, bro.
Yeah, because they can put anything in there.
Not just that, we're human. We can't make 100 songs a day.
Yeah.
I can't make 100 songs a day to fill up the pot. You know what I mean? I can't make but the computers, the robots can make 100 songs a day to fill up the pot. Easy. The majority of songs that are being uploaded to streaming services are AI generated, illegally trained music. So they're flooding the market.
In a royalty pool system.
So accidentally, we're being served algorithmically in discovery AI music, and we don't even know it. We don't even know it. So it's eating against royalties that we would eat from. It's eating against royalties families can, small business owners. We're so dependent on these platforms. But I think a revolution is about to happen.
I do too. I put up a post the other day, and
I feel like people are done with this shit.
Yeah, and I think that it's so, like, human beings are so illogical. I did a post the other day where I talked about basically invest in human beings, because we have these illogical ways where somebody thought it was a great idea to string together some metal and call it a slinky, and that thing sold like crazy.
Yeah.
How does AI predict that that's going to work? How about this?
Yeah.
A gentleman in the 60s decided, I'm going to sell rocks, not special rocks, just rocks you can get from the coast of California, and I'm going to call them pet rocks and put them in boxes. Right. He sold 1 million rocks before Christmas. I know this is a different time period. I know consumers have definitely changed, but what I'm saying is that we do things that don't make sense.
Yeah.
Especially when new things get introduced.
Yeah.
And that's just part of our creative nature. I think, if anything, this is an opportunity for us to not only evolve as artists, because our nuance is going to matter more than it's ever mattered before, but also our synergy, our collaboration, our community is going to mean something, because people want to know, did you do that artwork or was that Chat GPT? Who's the artist that did it? Show me how they did it.
Right. It's a scary world, man, for sure. Yeah. It's a scary world. Like we're not, the lines are being so blurred, fans don't know the difference between songs, and, but you know what's crazy though? I feel like, you grew up in an era where music was so emotional, so real, so gritty, so imperfect, so personal, You remember that time period, like 2005, 10, I don't know, like, where I'm not to knock, the bubblegum trap stuff that was, from the window, like, I love the
right.
I'm gonna be dancing too.
All that. Right.
There was a moment in time where intellectual music switched.
Yes.
And everything got dumbed down. I remember Lupe had a whole song about that. Yeah. Remember when Lupe dropped the?
Oh yeah. We all saw it too, but it
was a flip. There was a flip where music,
flip. Yeah,
the soul started to get deprioritized. It started happening a lot earlier than AI, and it's kind of like it prepared us for this shift now, where fans don't even know the difference because they've been listening to soulless music for the last 15 years anyway. It don't even matter.
And if that didn't do enough damage over the years, because the thing is, I feel like there's always existed a place for like mindless entertainment, or even like fun entertainment, like music that doesn't really require a lot of deep emotions. And I think there's always existed that to a certain degree. However, it was the deprioritization, as you said, and the erasure to the point where it's like, we have no space for another Nas. We have no space for another Jay-Z or and if we bring a Kendrick or somebody, like, even we're going to make sure that there's songs in his catalog that adjust to this system of what we've done and collaborations. And
I know
they did a number, but you know what? I really look also at the pandemic, not even to make it conspiratorial, but the idea of us getting used to not being around each other, actually not wanting to be around each other 6 feet or whatnot, and then relying on computers for very simple things like ordering an Egg McMuffin from McDonald's. All this stuff feels like preparation. And where we're at right now is a reliance more on answers from a computer than from a specialist. So it just feels like what you said is a preparation.
I know, but like, you know, when you got public companies, they got to optimize for, you know, for revenue. They got to optimize for efficiency and profit. Like, look at Amazon, just fired 30,000 employees. You know, they fired 30,000 employees. You know, they're going to replace them with AI. They already have. You know, already have. So it's like, I mean, it's tough, man. Like, I'm a champion. I'm a tech kid too. I'm from the Bay Area, man. I grew up watching Apple blow up right in front. I mean, I was living in the Bay before the tech boom happened. You know, it was a different place, and it was inspiring to see all of the innovation, all of the stuff that was happening at the time. Being in the epicenter in Silicon Valley, seeing it all happen, it was inspiring. It's probably one of the reasons why I'm an entrepreneur in the music tech space anyway, right? And but I just think that, you know, there's always going to be right and wrong. There's always going to be right and wrong, and you know, and unfortunately, we live in a world that's balanced between bad and good, and it's like you know, good just has to start fighting harder. You know, we got to start fighting as hard as the bad, and that's just the name of the game. You know,
it is. And look at what it's. Look at the side effects of it. I've known you for all these years, and we've never had a sit-down conversation online like this. Don, I mean, this is the first time we're sitting down, but it calls for this time. This is how important this time period is that every so once in a while.
When I saw you at NAMM, I almost shed a tear, man. I gave you a hug like I was
man, same here, man. It was good to see you.
A family member, you know, it was just beautiful, bro. Just seeing your journey, just seeing it, and then seeing you in person. I was like, oh, I got to go hug Curtis real quick.
Likewise. And that was my first NAMM too, so it was crazy to see all this in the same place and environment. You know what?
Your voice is bigger than ever. Your voice is bigger than ever.
Man, it's crazy.
But there's a reason. People are hungry. People are hungry for alternative thinking, bro.
Right. Or just think. you skipped a level just thinking. I'm like, I was on Twitter today. I was asking my group chat. I said, what is blue sky like? Is it better than this X experience? Because we're getting further and further from just the natural foundation of logic.
Right.
It is terrifying. I'm not gonna hold this conversation off anymore. We're getting right into the AI because you've already said enough. I've already said enough.
You were talking about how potentially producers need to embrace the brand thing and build a brand and do this and do that. Okay, they have to do that. I'm gonna there's been, you know, because I get to see all the successful producers, right? I get to meet them, I get to talk to them, I get to see like which pathways they take to success and what works. Like, I was just sitting down with a producer here who came to visit me in Austin. His name is Dakota Parker. Okay. And he don't even have one video on YouTube. He don't have one post on Instagram, and he's a top seller. He's a top seller. He put all his eggs on the BeatStars marketplace. He invested all of it on BeatStars. He built over 150,000 followers on BeatStars, a few million plays, and invested on the BeatStars promote system, on our ad system. And he built himself a small business that's great. That's over 6 figures, and he's living a great life, and he ain't got to stress about no social media. And a lot of the top sellers, Curtis, you don't even know their names. They've done the same thing.
I've seen it. I've seen it because they'll hit me up.
There is alternative ways to do it. As long as the music is fucking fire, you know how to advertise, you know how to work your first party data, you know how to work your email list, you know how to turn that into a Google Ads audience, a retargeting audience, a lookalike audience. You know how to fucking build a real funnel. You really don't need this shit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like,
see, but don't
we like to talk. We like to talk to people.
But it's different. They don't tell that to the naysayers on you know, the self-proclaimed experts that jump into the comments and say nobody's selling beats like this. This is the real way that you're supposed to do it, and you don't have anything to track whether or not it's worked for them. It likely hasn't. But we're living in a time where misinformation just seems so damn loud. One thing I can say from my own experience, because you know, when we first met, I was making exclusively producer content, and there was a point in time where I realized, not only as a producer that I need to make content to be visible for the entire community and serve the whole community, but I had to even broaden it out because there was more things I wanted to talk to culturally that were beyond just the producer community. I want to start off with this, is before we gonna get into the AI questions. Many producers say, Abe, I just want to make beats. I'm not trying to be a content creator.
Yep.
Why do you think visibility and storytelling matter more than ever for producers, or do you?
It depends. If you have like such a great, compelling story, and you're someone that is not afraid to be in front of the camera and not afraid to really like build some great content and do some real storytelling and build a community. There's some people that don't want to build a community. They just want to sell digital products, right? They just want to sell digital products. They don't care about building community or, building networks and things like that. But if you really like us, we love being stopped in the street, seeing other creators stop us and say, man, those words, that video you made, that thing you did really helped me through this, through that. Like we get a high off of that. That's great for us. It's part of our brand building, right? For some people, it's absolutely like life-changing. It's life-changing if you really do it. Like, look at hundreds of thousands of subscribers on YouTube. Like, you can really shift a whole market if you really want. Build a new market, create a new economy. Do some POCs, right? Do some POCs, like try things out, dabble into this, because now you have a community. You have a sandbox. You can do a lot of things. But if you don't have that influence and you don't have that, it's going to be hard to do it. But for those producers that don't want to show their face on social media, don't want to really they want to live a normal life and just grind it out, work, make beats all day and just get paid to do what they love to do, and they find satisfaction in that, then dude, there's a path for that too. There's a path for that too.
Can I play devil's advocate on that though? Especially as we're trying to confirm human activity behind some of these. Like, I saw a video, Abe, where they were talking about how specific those bot farms look like in Turkey, where they showed a computer box and they showed phones who have been stripped down to like their motherboard, and they were just inserting them in like floppy disk. And then you look at the screen and there's 17 phones on the screen, and they're just typing out messages and blasting them out to Twitter and liking them and engaging with each other. When you see it's not the way, obviously, because it got rated. It ended up getting rated. But I say that to say, we don't know sometimes whether or not we're even engaging with human beings or bots. I wonder from that perspective, do you think that showing your face as a producer is becoming more mandatory than, I guess, in the past?
I don't even think you need to show your face. Like, BeatStars has a integration with this like identity verification company that we have for like, when we onboard someone to BeatStars wallet to receive royalties, we need to know if you're a real human being. We need to know who the fuck you are, right?
Facts.
We have to. There's like, tax purposes. There's all kind of stuff. Like, we have to legally make sure we know our customers before we send out a massive ass payment or something like that. So I think BeatStars has a responsibility to take that verified identity data and make that public on the marketplace, so people know when they're buying a beat from someone, this person has been, their identity has been verified. They're in good standing. They're in good standing on the platform, and you can feel confident to buy from them. That's something we are working on. So we're going to bring a lot. I think LinkedIn did that really well. Like, verify your name, verify your identity. Now you have that like verification. I think it was like Clear powered that, the company that does at the airport, the same company, right? And so I kind of like that, and I think Elon was trying to do that with Twitter, but I don't know if it really worked out. I still be seeing bots on there with verified check marks.
I think Elon saw the benefits in bots. He was like, hold on, let them cook. He's like, let them cook. He's like, whenever I say something, I can get 400,000 likes and retweets. Hold on, let them cook. Let them cook. I don't like bots for y'all. I like bots for me. That's my theory, at least. Well, listen, this naturally leads us into the conversation about AI, because it is something that, man, I'm still getting questions. Even though I haven't made a piece of producer content probably in a year and a half, I still get comments about, like, Curtis, what are we supposed to do when it feels like we're going to be out here competing as producers with folks who can make beats faster than us? Somebody even said the idea suggesting, and I'm glad you brought up the whole identification system. He was like, man, these folks are going to, make accounts and then just flood their entire beat store. And then what happens to me when I'm trying to be searched out by potential artists? Yeah. When you look at AI as a whole,
I got something for that.
You got something for that? Okay, before I get into that question, go ahead and break it down.
I was just saying, I got something for that. When you're saying like the competition, like how are we going to compete with AI? How are we going to compete? AI is going to plateau if as long as the training material stops flowing into them. Remember, AI ain't really AI yet. A lot of people mistake machine learning with AI. Okay. A lot of people mistake machine learning with AI. Right now, we're just calling it AI because it's a fancy term name. It's a
branding, marketing,
a fancy good name. But the underlying technology and the models that are being created is just machine learning. It's just algorithmic probability of trained data and using the likelihood of and probability of the existing data. Like it won't be able to create something new. It won't be able to create something new. It can only create something that exists. So as us that create new shit every day, as long as we don't feed these models, and we keep our pulse on the culture, we keep creating what's new, what's hot, what's great, and we protect ourselves from that, then we're gonna cut off the umbilical cord for these guys, and that AI shit will be stale as fuck. Now we're sending out legal notices to all of these companies through our partnership with Surreal. With Surreal AI, we send out legal notices. We got permission from all of our producers, our creators, and we're telling all these AI companies, our creators are opting out of this fair use bullshit, all of this fair use bullshit, and we're putting y'all on notice. If you use our shit, you know what's about to go down.
That was gonna be my next question. Did you see any evidence of, because they said they combed, like sites like Suno and Udio said they combed over tens of millions of copywritten material. And I assume, especially when, we don't get into this conversation about Timbaland in the situation where the tag popped up, but I assume that had to at some point find, if not BeatStars.com, it had to have found the YouTube pages that are making type beats for sure.
That too, but I think the artists, and I love my artists. I'm an artist. I'm a songwriter artist. Okay,
I'm an artist. Yeah,
they are taking the beats and they're putting them into Suno too to add little stuff, to add their vocals. So they're willingly putting the material there as well too, and we got something for that too coming.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
See that? Look, hold on. This is why I rock with you. That's why I rock with Abe. Abe always, like, whenever there's a problem and you see woe is me people out here, Abe is the one. Like, if we was in a car and the car broke down, I want to be in the car with Abe, because Abe would be like, but I left my AAA card at home. Abe is the one walking down the street. He with me. We walking down the freeway. You know what I'm saying? We walking. If the phones die, we walking down a mile to go to the next gas station. It's too many people out here who's sitting in the car whining about, what are you gonna do? But man, I'm glad you say that. And I actually,
we working with some scientists.
Yeah,
we working with some.
So you already.
Well, we working with some scientists.
Yeah. Not to give it away, because I was gonna say I also wanted to connect you, or at least bring the conversation up. There's a producer that I interviewed recently, or about a few months ago, and he created something called iCloak.app. And basically what it does, it poisons the audio, but it's not something that you can hear.
Yeah.
So the more it is, and he's a producer.
I've been keeping my eye on that.
Yeah, he's a producer too, which is crazy.
Dope. Okay.
So he was like, I got to do something about this.
We're talking to a bunch of other guys that are kind of doing some similar stuff. But yes.
Right.
Get it on the input. Let's protect it on the input before it gets output.
Man, because I can't imagine the day and I feel like it's gonna happen, but we get on BeatStars and it gives you the option of being able to protect your music in such a way. I imagine.
Let this little pony show be cute for a little while. It's cute right now, raising 150 million and billions. Wait, you think we're just gonna let y'all slide and colonize? Nah.
I heard that. So let me be fair, because I got to be on my journalism stuff. When you look at AI as a whole, what are the actual opportunities it may provide producers if used responsibly?
Well, I think, to be honest with you, I want to produce now as an artist.
Word. Okay.
Let me produce now. Let me cook. But let me use everyone's elements. But also elements that we know attribute ownership. We know, like, I might want one of Curtis's piano loops. Then I might want Kato's drums. Then I might want to add, what I'm saying? Let me stack up, let me customize, let me augment, let me do everything I want to do as an artist. Let me add some vocals. Shit, I might even add my own AI vocal of my own voice that I own all the rights to, right? Like, I don't think innovation has to be like, pushed down in order for like great things to happen. Like, I don't think we need to stop innovating. I don't think we need to. I think we can do both, bro. I think innovation can happen and respecting people's rights at the same time can happen. And that's really what
that's the big part right there is respecting the rights, because you bring up these names of producers like Kato and myself who we provide, you know, these opportunities through sound packs, and it's there for a reason to be used. But there are parts of our art that are very personal to us. Like, you know, when you're talking about the songs that you're making in 96 about Palestine, like there's songs that mean something so personal to you. You don't want to give that and put that in the hands of somebody who is on the opposite side using your own art against you without your permission. I think about these things now. And you know what I realized? And I wonder if you've seen this. This is the moment that I knew there was a bubble that's going to pop with this. Because you said a little party show. When I started to really do research on the people who were like super pro AI music.
Yeah.
Not the people who were like, this is exciting, this is new, this is fun. The people who were over the top ended up being people who don't like people. That's one of Are there people who said producing is too hard? They sounded like the CEO of Suno, who was like, music is just not enjoyable to make. I've met people like that. You know what they did back in my day? They quit.
Yeah, they quit.
They went somewhere else. Or they played for Rapper to Rapper.
They gave the quitters life. They gave the quitters life.
Hey, you find something that you're really supposed to be doing. You know, if this is not fun for you, because I'm sure that coding a website like a Suno is not all fun, but it is a necessity.
I love getting stuck on a verse for 2 weeks, making sure I got the right. Come on, man. That's the challenge of it. That's like,
the story. That's what you say in the interviews afterwards. You say, man, it was like a lightning in a bottle, man. I just happened to come home one day. I was a little bit tired. I decided to write 4 bars, end up writing the whole song.
Right.
Those are such humanly beautiful stories.
And sometimes it comes in stages. You got to let nature do its thing. You got to let the experiences happen, you know? Like, I don't know, dude. There's something beautiful about it where there's no rules to making it. And I am scared that they're trying to eliminate the beauty of making art, you know, for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's really interesting that they started with the arts first, because remember the big pitch for AI was we're going to be able to solve, you know, we're going to be able to cure cancers, we're going to be able to kill airmen, we're going to see things that doctors can't see.
I got leukemia. I got leukemia right now. Can someone hook me up?
I mean, can we help my man Abe with the leukemia?
You worried about making dumbass country ass songs, but you can't help me cure my shit.
Can we help with leukemia before BBL Drizzy? Is that not a priority to help somebody that is, you know what I mean? Like, that was the promise, but I understand that this is still, like you said, a capitalism environment. You know, let's talk about the flip side of it now.
There's regulation in China, though. There's regulation in China.
Really?
Oh yeah. They're making sure that the AI companies out there, from a government standpoint. See, the difference between like innovation in China and the innovation here in the US is the oligarchs and billionaires control government policy here. They pay for that. And over there, you can't influence government. You can't influence government policy because they're responsible for the whole community.
Right.
You know, they're responsible for the whole community, so they have to prioritize people over, you know, innovation. So they regulate on that stuff. You know,
how does that work from your point of view? How does that work when it is also like an arms race to developing this thing, like almost getting to the moon first type of situation with AI?
Yeah, I think that is what the war is all about. I think that is what the war is all about. Is achieving hyper intelligence, right? To achieve more intelligent forms of technology to outsmart your competitors. That's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. They, you know, it's dangerous. Is dangerous. But I do believe that just like stocking up on trillions and trillions of dollars in weaponry, you know, it's going to be a waste. You're never going to use it. You're never going to use it for that form, unless, you know, I mean, we've seen some crazy leaders come into power.
We've seen some crazy things happen.
We are the closest to nuclear war than we've ever been before. That's for sure.
I believe it. I was telling a friend this morning, I said, the movie Idiocracy is not so funny no more. I said, I think it's only a matter of time before this president start watering the White House lawn with Powerade. And that don't seem too far-fetched.
I think they need each other, though. You know, I think they need each other.
If
China, at the end of the day, it's China versus US.
No,
at
fact.
The end of the day, everyone else falls in the line. At the end of the day, it's China versus US. And that's the big conflict. That's why the tariff and the trade wars are happening. That's why bombing Iran to cut pipeline gas and oil, because China's one of the biggest customers of Iranian oil and gas, right? So like at the end, and then also oil is what's powering all of these AI centers, these big ass AI centers.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that, the unethical ways that they're affecting predominantly Black and brown neighborhoods. Like we talk about spots in Memphis.
Yeah,
that's something
that's crazy.
The moment it was told to me, the moment I was like, not only is it something that I believe, because I've seen the videos of these plants and where they're located, but I'm like, is this I'm now taking the responsibility of saying, is this prompt really, because I'm doing damage. I know I'm doing damage. Is this worth it? What I'm gonna do? Should I just Google? But that's a conscious.
Sam Altman. I saw Sam Altman the other day talking about, somebody checked him like, what do you mean you're going to spend trillions of dollars and you're not even reaching that revenue to even like be able to do that? And he's just banking on that this product is just going to continue its explosionary growth. And it's like, at the cost of what though, bro? Like at the cost of what?
That's the big issue.
I'm hopeful at the end of the day, they're going to come together, these superpowers, right? And they're just going to figure out ways to collaborate, and they're going to figure out ways to do something peacefully where they could share resources. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm hopeful they do, because the AI war can definitely lead to some really massive destruction around. I mean, I believe that the war in Gaza is all related to that too. So like, it's all related. It's all related. And to me, it's like, when are we gonna fucking get our shit together as human beings, bro, and just like cut this shit out? Like, look out for each other. You know what I mean? If
this technology is as great as they say it is, wouldn't this be an amazing time to start cleaning shit up? Like, when you have the technology to have communications that don't get lost in translation, you have the opportunity to, test out things that usually emotions might get in the way if you're talking to certain human beings. Now you have this thing that exists that they're so afraid of, to a certain degree. They've watched it have conversations with each other. I saw one where they had two AI voices having conversations with each other, and they knew that the human being was listening, so they started talking in code the human couldn't understand. And we're trying to shut it down. Like, wait a minute, what are y'all getting? What are y'all planning?
That's crazy.
I've even seen the point of, what type of nature does an AI have? Like, we're talking about a sentient being. What kind of nature does it have? Does it have the same mentality as a human being, where they'll see some, they'll see something in the nature, like say it's like a crow attacking a certain insect out here. And then we see that and say, well, that's unfair. We have to preserve these animals here. We have to make sure they live on. Mother Nature don't care. Mother Nature says, this is the way of the land, and then it's going to always, times will repeat themselves.
Yeah.
Thinking from that lens, that's what I'm concerned about with
AI.
What
the solution is? What the solution is? I heard Jeff Bezos talk about this. His solution is, we're going to just take all the waste off of the land and just throw it into space. So all the waste we make from this AI shit and all the damage that we're doing to the environment, we'll just take the waste and throw it into space. That's our solution. That's what he's building his
ain't enough to pollute one planet. Let's start moving on and polluting some more. Let's double it down, man. You ready to get to some difficult questions, man? It's not even difficult, because you brought them up to me as we had a conversation, but these are the ones that I know people really, really want to hear about, because damn it, this has been a year, Abe, where
it's been a year. We got to take care of our health.
Our health and our minds, and I don't know how many times I can be surprised by legends in this game that do things that are just out of. I want to start with this Timbaland situation. Right. At the end of the day, and we've done a lot of videos. I've done my best to do fair coverage on this and interview people, and not just insert my own opinion, but interview people who are like, yo, this is what happened to me. Recently producers and singers have accused Timbaland of using Suno AI to create beats that sounded like theirs. As someone who is fighting for producer rights, even in this moment right now, how did you view that moment, man?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the Cuddy Fresh. I mean, Cuddy's music is amazing. He's on BeatStars too. And I saw that. I mean, that one video he has that has gone so viral because of his beats are so hard, so nasty. And then to see that thing like recreated by Timbo.
And then to credit Baby Timbo. He said, "This is what Baby Timbo made." He in the video, he said, "This is what Baby Timbo made." I said, "Then why K Fresh is tagging him?"
Yeah, I don't know Timbaland personally. I don't know what his ethics, I don't know what his values and morals are. I can't speak on another man's situation. But from optically from the outside looking in, it just sounds like Timbaland is his brand is for sale at any cost. Regardless of the community that he represents. So you got to remember, Timbaland came out the gate early into stardom. He didn't have to come out the mud like us online.
Yeah.
He didn't have to come. He doesn't have that human connection with us online creators that we built our own communities and we were our own lifeline. He went straight to stardom. He has probably, I mean, like I said, I can't speak for him, but the attachment and the responsibility that we have for our community, I don't think he shares that same thing. He's just a producer that became a star. Became a star, and his music has been incredible over the years, like some of the best music around the world. He has also infringed on Egyptian and Palestinian music over the years as well too. We could talk about that. He's used. I mean, sampling is a thing. Sampling is a thing, but I hopefully all those situations are cleared up. There's no labeling like clearance things, but he's done. There's been some lawsuits around that, right? So anyway. But I guess what I'll say is it's a little weird for me to see Timbaland join Suno in this executive role, right? Probably incentivized in many different ways, whether it's equity or payment or whatever it is. And then magically Beat Club disappears.
Yeah. And there was issues that people brought up to light with that. Yeah.
Magically beatclub.com is wiped off the face of the earth. You can't even go to the website. The website's down.
After receiving all that music from independent artists and producers and hours and hours of live streams. Because people were connecting dots before I could even get to the story. They were like, wait a minute. So all those times where I thought I was just getting feedback and you were telling me these things need to be changed, were you feeding this into your system? I'll tell you something I haven't put out there before. I got established producers out here on Cali who were like, he made an argument for, nah, man, I got hard drives full of music that I'm feeding into this thing. I ain't worried about them. I got my own stuff. I've had in-studio musicians who said, that's our loops. Who you think was playing the guitar, these riffs in there? Who you think was adding drums? He said, my drums is on there right now. So I think about that and I'm like, here's my biggest concern with that. And he, to me, he's just an avatar of a product.
He's just a product. Yeah, he's a product.
Right. It's not a personal thing with him. But I look at him and I say, that's the thing that turned me away from the industry as a producer, is that realizing how many rooms you get in where you may or may not be credited because there's sort of titles in the room. If I'm the record producer and you're the beat maker, you make your beat, you go get me coffee, you shut your mouth, and whatever you do, I get the credit for, and I may shout you out every once in a while. I'm concerned with that mentality that is so normalized within, and a lot of it has changed. It's so normalized in those spaces in the industry. Now treating the rest of the world of producers and artists like that just seems like some God mode insanity.
Yeah, producers don't know a ton that, like, they don't, like, especially the young ones, they don't know that back in the day you were a ghost producer and you never had any rights. Like, I know some of the biggest songs. I know who produced some of the biggest songs are not credited. Like some of the biggest songs ever, those producers are not even credited, and that's how it used to be though. Like you work under me, you're my apprentice. You're gonna make these beats and I'm gonna slap my name on it, and
with no long-term commitments attached to it. Just this is what
they used to do is they used to pay you a monthly little salary just to kind of feed you. Come to the studio, have lunch. You know, come to the studio, have lunch.
Come be around me. Yeah, I know that's all you really want. You don't really need that money. What you need money for? What you need money for? I'll pay for your lunch, man. Don't worry about it, man. Look, it's the least I can do. Of course, it's the least you can do. Right. And this is where I started to understand why certain type of producers, like in that sense in the industry, they're not really even people who put hands to keys anymore because they're more delegators. I started seeing why this was such an amazing thing. It's like now instead of these 5 beat makers that are in the room, I could have access to any style, right? Whether it's too old for me, I feel like I'm too old to go back and learn it. I can just absorb it, throw that right into this machine training, and I could literally have access to it. And I saw him do that. I saw him take, you know, a female lyricist and it's a black woman, turn her voice into a white woman singing opera and her lyrics. And she was like, I never gave any like, I of course I'm honored because it's him, but I never gave any permission to do this. This is where I think it's getting tricky because, as you say, he's I don't know if it's exec role as much as it is an ambassador role, but that's even worse because that means that people are following his example on that site.
Yeah, people follow him, man. People follow him. He's a lot of people's heroes. You know what I mean? So it's dangerous, and it's even more dangerous to see some of the labels start to normalize these companies. You know, start to normalize relations. They don't have to. Like, listen, my message to Universal, Warner, Sony, everybody: you don't have to normalize relations with these fucking infringing illegal AI companies. You don't have to. You own all the power. You control the copyrights. Take their asses to court and shut their fucking asses down.
Somebody gonna have to tell the truth.
Just like you shut down Napster, just like you shut down LimeWire. Shut their punk asses down.
Hey, why are they not seeing this as Spotify 2.0?
Why are you doing deals? Why are you acting like a pussy?
Why are they not realizing this is Spotify 2.0? It's one tech bro replacing the next one because you hold all the power. I remember seeing the document. Huh?
I said they acting like some scared bitches. They scared about their money.
And
bro, use your muscle, bro.
Well, they use their muscle on artists, you know. So you would think that they know what that's like. They use their muscle on Spotify at one point in time when they said, "Okay, we're gonna need 70 cents of every dollar."
Stand up for your fucking writers. Stand up for your fucking artists. Stand up for the people that you promised to put out their shit and exploit their shit to the maximum ability so they can make money and make a living. Stand up for your people, bro. Stand up for your people. You ain't gotta succumb to these dudes. You ain't gotta succumb to these colonizers. Shut them down.
Let's speak about them because I feel like they've been escaping a lot of accountability. Like, you know, Mikey, the CEO of Suno, made that crazy ass statement, and all of a sudden I started to see, as you said, that
Chris, I didn't want to get
you're
bad, bro.
That's what I was hoping was gonna happen. Because they need to understand I'm not the only one in here that's like, like I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. You not understand what's going on.
What's the comments looking like? I haven't looked at
No, they with you. No, these are DIYers. They kick it with me all the time, Abe. This is a
listen, I apologize for using
Don't apologize. No, this is Abe, this is a Friday. They're not worried about that. They've been with Curtis King all week. If they've been here with my crazy ass, that ain't nothing.
Care, bro.
I love it.
I just care. I just think we sell ourselves short as music companies. You know, we sell ourselves short. Like we you know, it's like, I don't know. We'll see.
Can we point the light also too? Because I saw this Zania Monet R&B singer, AI singer who was on, you know, her creator Tanisha, I forget her last name, was on CBS Mornings, and it dawned on me. Mikey made those statements. The internet jumped him, as they would say online, and he disappeared. And the only thing that you've seen talking on behalf of Suno, whether it be through these particular success stories who use Suno, or even like some of these camps and boot camps are doing, are black faces. And I said, that's interesting that you are having them take all the arrows. Even sitting here, like everybody's clowning the lady who wrote the poetry and then prompted in Suno, but it's like she didn't create the technology. She is taking advantage of that. And I'm not absolving her from responsibility. I'm like, it's just really interesting that she's being asked ethical questions about AI when she's an interchangeable piece on the chessboard. Like they'll find somebody else. So my question:
anybody could be a Zania Monet. Anybody can come in and take that voice on soon and just become a Zania Monet, whatever. right?
So my question is, Suno AI, obviously, it has been probably more in the conversation than a lot of the other websites. But much of its training data appears to come from unlicensed, scraped music, copywritten music. What concerns you the most about the way Suno was operating?
Yeah, they operating with no like remorse for or no care for like human intellectual property. You know what I mean? And if Udio was able to normalize with Universal, then there must be a reason why Suno hasn't done it either. Because I'm sure they got approached with the same kind of deal. So their ambitions are much bigger than just doing a fan-made Udio platform, fan-made content around like their favorite artists. Like their ambitions and desires are a lot bigger than Udio and these other guys. I'll be honest with you. I could see it.
Yeah.
Like buying the DAW, the Wave Tool DAW, really trying to pretend like they're a prosumer product, where professional creators can go in there and do it. But listen, they may have, but that's the thing with big tech all the time. Like Zuckerberg did the same shit. Did the same shit. They asked for permission later. They screw the music industry over, and then once they've got mass adoption and mass usage, then they think that the playbook of the labels will just come to the negotiating table and they'll figure it out. But that's so like, I don't know, man. That's like, if you don't like BeatStars is still the same, has the same soul from licensing beats back in 2008 to now, and the soul has not changed. It's all about paying the creators, right? And that's always been our thing. And like, if you're gonna start evil, what makes me think you're gonna end up being part of the? You know what I'm saying? Like,
when you've already got the benefits of it too. Yeah. Like you've already rode dirty. If any of us try to do something like this,
bro, they would have. Come on. If that was me, come on.
If that was either one of us, what they would have did to us. Like they've done less to folks who have invented ways for water to be trained into gasoline. They've done even worse to in these positions of power. The fact that you see it, and then we know that the government is going through financial crisis, and they're looking for AI to be a big driver in turning the economy the other way. So with that said, they're allowing a lot of stuff to happen that, dog, I remember how many steps it was for me to get my LLC.
Right.
It's nowhere near as many steps for me to infringe upon everybody.
Zanya Monet, right? Zanya Monet.
Yeah, Zanya Monet.
I think there could be a world where there's a legitimate Zanya Monet with all of the rights in place for her to exist. Listen, I'm a songwriter too. I don't know how to sing. How to sing, but I'm a branding genius, right? We build these, like, all of us, we build these big brands and these big things. Like, if I had an ethical way to take my songwriting ability and actually tap into, voices that are opted in and that are cleared and that are made sure to be, that we're compensating real voices, compensating real production, and compensating all. Like, I feel like there is an opportunity to give these songwriters that sit in the shadows that have great songs, the ability to produce some like really dope stuff. But let's also try to figure out a way to inspire these songwriters to collaborate with real humans too. Like first, like let's try that first.
Or how about this? Because I remember they asked Mikey this question about what his goals were, and one of the things he said was that he wanted to gamify the music process. He wanted to gamify music. He wanted to make it accessible to at least 1 billion people to have the ability to basically gamify it. Yeah. And he was kind of comparing it to like just video game culture, like how we'll play NBA 2K and I can be LeBron. The only difference is when I play as LeBron on the Lakers, I don't take away any money from his check when he plays for the actual Lakers. When you're making AI music and you're able to flood it into the same ecosystems as, say, a Spotify, and they have, I think it's called Pro Rata, or the pool system that we all share from, where I can listen to you nonstop for the next 30 hours. The majority of that money is going to whoever has the largest splice of the pie. In the game. So that's the Taylor Swifts of the world. That's the Drakes of the world. That's who your money is actually going to. Now, insert people like Johan Rohr, who, folks have talked about, who has basically been a musician from Sweden, who's done all kind of music. he happened to be from Sweden, which is funny because Spotify from Sweden.
Right.
He puts all his music out there, and they say that collectively all of his music has more streams than ABBA, Elton John. So you mean I'm not just splitting it with the Drakes of the world who's currently getting sued in a class action lawsuit for billions of streams, but how do we know who's who that's cutting up the pie in this AI world? So why allow them to occupy this space? Why not give them their own AI-ify? Like, that part of it is like, so you saw how unfair the payout systems were. You saw how most artists cannot make a living wage. You did two things. You said, we hear you loud and clear. So what we're going to do to combat that, we're going to make sure that you don't get paid unless you get 1,000 streams first annually, and then we'll start paying you. And then we're going to flood this with AI music that you don't know whether or not it's from us, allegedly, or anybody else. Like, I'm like, what? How do you let that happen? How is that not a monopoly?
Yeah. Maybe there's some plan, maybe there's some plan to I mean, I guess all the majors signed off with Spotify now to create this new AI product that they're building too, some fan-made content, so people can make fan-made content and stuff like that. And if that starts flooding the service as well too, that takes away market share from independent artists as well too. We get
hit the hardest, and we're the economy that is serving the producers on your website, right? Or even uploading our own music on your website. It's just something that affects so many lives, and I'm not going to say it doesn't affect a lot of lives positively. Like, there are positive uses and ethical uses, but this one just is really interesting to me because it seems like they've created a product that is turning people who were aspiring musicians, right, that got frustrated with the process, found this elixir, and now they're turning them against us for merely taking and doing the hours and putting the hours in and developing a skill set or having a God-given talent and saying, haha, now I got this thing. Now you can't gatekeep for me anymore. It's just, it's interesting because I think a lot of that energy is being pointed at creative to creative, and not necessarily at the people responsible for bringing us into the ecosystem.
I think it's all just a distraction, bro. Just like social media, all of it is just a distraction. All of it's just distraction. So we don't really invest in ourselves. Just wasting our time. Scrolling, prompting, doing this, wasting our time, not building real skills for ourselves, not building real like moats for ourselves. We can be experts at certain crafts, and things like that. It's all a distraction. All of this shit is a distraction.
You were telling me about something that you want to expand upon. So this is what I know about Splice. Splice rolled out AI enhanced tools trained on user uploaded sounds, and many producers felt betrayed in the process. I have done deals, but even beyond that, you had another opinion about just in general, I guess, the way that they handle things. How do you view these developments? Is it surprising? Is it something that just feels like this is just everybody's doing it?
I just think it's problematic when you sign over all your rights to any entity. It doesn't matter. It's just problematic. You don't control what happens after. You just don't control how your art is, displayed or packaged up later in the timeline. You know what I mean? The royalty-free model is problematic to me. Is really problematic.
Yeah, I had a question about that too. Why do you feel like that is problematic, or do you feel like it's a trap for producers?
It's a trap. It's the same old industry, same old like old school industry type of like, work for hire, buy your rights out kind of situation. I don't know. I'm just an advocate of people building business, right? I'm an advocate of people building independence and building their own avenues to success. You know what I mean? And it's like, I think if you get used to I don't knock everyone that does it, right? Like if I got a one-off pack, I just want to drop off to get a quick buck. I could see that happening. But if you're not putting equal or more efforts to building your own brand and your own business and using that maybe as just like promotional for what you're trying to build, then I think it's a cop-out. If you're just making stuff just to sell all the rights off and that's all you're doing and you're just handing out rights, selling your rights off, I think it's problematic. I think it's problematic because now they can replicate you without you even being involved.
And now they gave it all away.
Yeah, you just gave it all away. You gave away all your sauce, all your human-made beauty that God gave you is gone.
And for those of you that are here that are not from the producer space, royalty free is sort of a promise that a lot of sound pack or sound designers and sound creators will put out there as an incentive to say, hey, if I create these piano keys and I sell this off to you as a producer to using your beat, I'm not going to come after you for royalties. Whatever money you make is your money. But this is a system that from the very beginning, Abe has been very vocal against. And, you shed a lot of light on that. Is there anything else about that I think many of us may have overlooked? Because I know when I started doing it, I kind of was just like copying the big dogs who were doing it already. I was like, okay, royalty free is a buzzword. I do want people to use these, and I'm not trying to come after somebody because of a drum loop being used in a Travis Scott song. Like it's to the world, but you're bringing up some valid points about it.
Yeah, I just think it's always good. It's always great to control how you distribute and monetize your products. You know what I mean? It's always great to have control over the terms, the contracts, the usage of it. You really, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we all really know the impact of rights. We need to go out and educate on it. You know what I mean? But then there's also some weird stuff on Splice. Like I was on there the other day and I saw like all the Palestinian sounds, the instruments, the ouds, the cultural music from the Middle East is provided by an Israeli company. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like there's some cultural appropriation on there too. That's kind of weird for me. Like it's kind of weird. It's like it's not really coming from the real sources of the musicians. It's being stolen and repackaged in different forms. So I don't like that shit. I don't like, that's kind of weird,
It's similar to how I felt when, there were so many protests around because of police brutality, specifically with black folks. And this was kind of like the early days of, I guess, Black Lives Matter. And you would see these shirts that were echoing some of the things that people were saying in the streets. I happened to go look at one of the websites and found out that it was owned by a company in China. And I'm like, it's now, it's like, yeah, of course, we're living in that time period where if somebody sees $1, they're going to go and do that. But it's like, have we lost our way as human beings so much that we wouldn't even make money off of the things that we ourselves have no connections to or any alignment with?
You'll commit genocide against the population of Palestine. You'll ethnically cleanse them. You'll displace millions of people. You'll starve them, famine them, and steal their fucking instruments.
Come on. And monetize
it. That's the world we live in today, bro. And then we got companies like Splice normalizing that. Congratulations, Splice.
Yes. And I had my frustrations with it too. As I was making music on using Splice, because I use it, but I'm like looking for vocals, and I know the difference, dog. I know the difference between a human voice singing, and you get that old like dried up saltine with no salt on it type of voice where it's like, I'm like, get this AI shit up out of here. Y'all can't hear this.
Shit.
And I said, you're not going to even put a label on it? I can't even get syrup without it saying it got no GMOs on it. I can't get nothing, but you're not going to put a label on it. So I'm like, you're part of the process of normalizing this for people. And you've done it off of because they were working with so many producers at the time that I first worked with them. You're doing this off the strength of all of these people who have contributed. And now you're like, thank you for your services. We'll take it from here.
Right. Peace out.
Peace out.
Peace out. Yeah, we're not going to tell you where our office is. We're not going to, don't show up. Don't show up. No, we're not going to give you lunch. Hey.
I didn't leave my number on the nightstand. I just, hey, it was a good time.
But that platform has also helped a lot of like producers make some great music too.
Definitely.
It has. And again, there's good and bad. There's good and bad in everything.
Yeah.
It's good and bad in everything. We can point out all the bad and complain. We can point out some of the good stuff that comes from these things. But at the end of the day, like I'm at a point in my life, like I haven't done a lot of interviews, Curtis. You could tell. Like no,
I can't tell. You know how grateful I am, man. I know how rare it is. Even as I was searching, I was like, "What's the last time we done?" Because you got a whole empire to hold down. But
there's a war going on, bro.
There's a war going on. But
we're locked in. We're locked.
You got allies out here. You got allies out here, and I'm absolutely one of those. And you keep saying like, "Let's get out of here." I'm ready. You know I'm ready. I've spoken to the producer community for many, many years, and even though I've pivoted into the content that I'm doing now, I'm still a producer. I'm still
touch on everything, bro. Touch on everything. Your voice is needed across everything. Like, there's no reason why it needs to be just around music. Like, I want to start an Abe Batshon show, and I start interviewing weirdos. I don't care, like scientists and people. You know, like I want to start talking to everybody. You know what I mean? Like, I want to touch on the sports world. I want to, you know. So I feel like it makes us more well-rounded and allows us to be part of some bigger conversations when we know more about different topics and not just like one. But we got to care about the original one, though. The music thing is close to our heart. That's our baby, you know.
Well, let me ask you this, because this is something that, you know, I've always wondered how folks in your position who, you know, you're familiar with the community at large, the online community, those who are not necessarily online. I've always wondered how much of sort of the online producer infighting that you've seen, or the beefs and all these things that pop up without even having to name names. It was part of the thing that kind of got me away from that space, because I started to realize personally, I had given out all this information and I wasn't sure how much it was being appreciated because the negative was so much louder than anything else.
Right.
And so I got to a place where I was like, you know what? I don't know how sustainable this environment is if the only way that producers are getting views, or the low-hanging fruit way they're getting views, is attacking each other. And this is, like you said, this is a time we need each other more so than ever.
Right.
What's been kind of your viewpoint on that? Because a lot of people have said, from a content standpoint, and some, like even Simon Savita, Kyle Beats, they've said publicly, like, hey, producer content is not necessarily grabbing and hitting the way it was a certain amount of years ago. What is kind of your zoomed out perspective on all that?
That's great. That's a great question. I think producer content on YouTube is not hitting in general. Even the beat videos, like the days of like massive free plays on your beat videos and stuff like that, that is all becoming deprioritized. I think it's impacting all type of producer content, you know. But I also think this new generation, Curtis, you'll be proud of these kids, bro. You'll be proud of these kids. They're not beefing like when we were first coming up and just like, you know what I mean? Like people were just going at each other's neck for no reason. You always have a couple knuckleheads on YouTube talking shit and just trying to start fights and misinformation and trying to spark up something. People even coming at us for no reason with complete lies. You know what I mean? But it's very rare, though. It's very rare. And I think for the most part, the kids fuck with each other, man. The kids, the young people that are in the community now, this new generation, they're about uniting and uniting around like a cause for real, and really having a purpose around making music and building something great with each other. And it's not about bringing each other down anymore like it was. There was a moment in time where that was like how you got on back a few years ago.
Calling somebody out, whether it was a claim that was substantiated or whether or not you had evidence of it or not, just because you had a story in a 4K camera, people said he must be telling the truth.
Right.
And it got to the point where me being the super positive branding person that I was, and how much
you were getting fired up too.
You were getting fired up, and like it was beyond, you know, me and my FL Studio video. This was just like nitpicking at things, and I was like, but why would you do that to somebody? I just didn't understand the lay of the land.
Content. It made me stop making content. I stopped for a few years, just like, what if you guys are not gonna appreciate the fucking blood, sweat, and tears that I'm doing, and everyone's just like trying to beef and trying to say this and I'm not. You know what? I'm just gonna focus on what I'm doing. I'm gonna lock in and just work on what I'm doing and help as many people as I can. So there was a time where I was kind of like discouraged to be online, and you know, it was negative. But man, I would say the last couple of years, it's been so much love, dude. It's been so much love, and everyone's showing so much love. And I think people just need each other more than ever right now. You know, so it's good. It's good.
What advice, and you talk about the younger ones, and I shout them all the time. Like I know that they're operating, they lived in this space online. Like they've been online since they've been, you know, iPad babies and whatnot. So
right. I got a few of those iPad babies in the house.
I'm trying to stop this kid, man. This kid is going crazy. He 6'7". I'm put it down. Put it down. Oh my God. With that said, though, what message would you have? Because there are a lot of elders in this space, veterans in this space, who have really kind of lived out their music producer career. through YouTube and through content.
Right.
And a lot of them are like a lot of the producers that use your website have grown up on, but maybe some of them have outgrown them. What will be kind of your advice for the elder statement in this? Because I have my own points of views of things, especially now that I do like more broad content. If I came back to producer content, I could turn this up in less than a month. And I know I could because I've seen different things that I couldn't see being in such a narrow space at times. What is your advice to the elder statesman in the game?
Yeah, I think the elder, look at me, man. I'm still hopping on boom bap beats. I'm still doing my thing. You know, like I still put out a song every once a year. And it's just like, I'm never going to stop doing what I love to do in terms of just like making music. I'm going to make music I love to make. And I think the folks that have been making music for a long time, and I think like the younger generation, like my kids barely listen to the new stuff. They barely listen to the new stuff. Like they're listening to Cube, they're listening to all the old school stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they love it. And they love it. Like, Dad, do you know who DMX is? I'm like, yeah, I know who the
I know. Don't make me cry right now. You mean? What do you mean?
You know? And I think people, and you see like all the new trends on TikTok, like all of these songs are coming back and they're, you know, it's like the era we grew up in, I'm telling you, man, you'll never capture a music era ever again in life. And never in life, you know what I mean? So even like the Blink 182s and like the rock stuff that's coming back, the sad rock stuff, that shit is beautiful. I love that shit. And it's like, I think people, doesn't matter what age you're in, you know, and if you feel passionate about the style of music that you're making, I don't care how old you are, dude. You know, one dude I love seeing him every single day. He makes me so happy on TikTok. Ape Tunes. You ever see Ape Tunes?
Ape Tunes. Maybe.
Yeah. He's got a big beard, little gray beard. He's got a big gray beard. And I'm like, man, hell yeah. Like he puts up a video every day, dropping his beats, super high quality videos, and he puts them up on BeatStars, and he don't give a fuck. He's got his glasses on. He's in his element, you know, he's in his element.
In that time though, Abe, like where it's like people want to like that's what I always appreciate about TikTok. Is TikTok said, stop trying to figure out how to trick the algorithm. Stop trying to figure out how to go viral and share your brand of weird, and we'll find your audience for it. I knew this when I found a guy who went viral, an older gentleman. All he did, Abe, was run in the middle of the street, flick the camera off, and then run to the other side of the camera, and then he was done with the video. And no music. It was just an old guy who ran up, he flicked the camera off, and he keep running, millions of views. And I'm like,
damn.
So when I saw that, I said, "Oh, it's just about." So I think zooming out,
being creative, just being creative,
and being authentic. And I think now more so than ever, I love the challenge that AI brings in this aspect.
Yeah, let's step up. Yeah,
step up. Even as a writer, what helped me get out of a recent writer block was realizing, oh, it's my job now to be as nuanced and as detailed as I possibly can. Because that's the thing that's missing as I'm interacting with ChatGPT. That's what is missing. I have to give more details for it to be more detailed. Oh, so if I come in here, that's my job, is to tell these stories in their painstakingly detailed ways. Right. I like that pressure. I'm not afraid of that.
Yeah. No, it's so true. I love starting out like writing. I love writing again now.
Same.
It's weird. Like I've always
with the
phone. On a Google Doc.
Yeah. Okay.
I've always been a computer kid, typing words a second, whatever, a minute. But it's been so much fun because it's allowing you to stand out. Mm-hmm. When you can add in your elements that AI can't generate for you, there's no way AI can generate some of the things that we say, you know what I mean? Some of the things that we write out, you know, and that separates you between technology and human. Like I think it's great. It's challenging us to focus harder and like go deeper on a topic rather than just like very surface level. Just let me knock this out. No, you know what? I'm going to block out a couple hours here. I'm going to go deep on this. You know, I don't know. Have you ever used this app called Brain FM?
No, what is that?
I hope it's not AI, dude. I hope it's not AI.
It probably is, but like it's once again, it's the ethical use of it that really is the concern. But what does it do?
Brain FM is like you can go into relax mode, you can go into focus mode, you can go into meditation mode, or you can go into like flow state mode as well too.
Oh,
and
wow.
it plays this music that I don't know what it, we all got ADHD now, with all these devices and all this shit we're watching, you know what I mean? So like to lock in for 2 hours and write, that's becoming harder and harder, you know what I mean? To focus. And so anytime I have a big meaty project, I'll put on Brain FM and put focus, like flow state mode, and it just like massages the brain in a way.
Like binaural beats?
Yeah, but different. I don't think so. I don't think it's like, real music. And it's just like, I don't know. It works, bro. Check them out. I guess I just shot.
Brain FM. He said that wasn't a sponsor. No, and just so everybody knows here, this wasn't a sponsor conversation. This was a conversation that was, I think, really sparked from Abe put out a tweet just talking about all the things that BeatStars is doing proactively, like giving a lay of the land first of what AI is doing, but also saying like, no, we're not going to stand by and let this shit just happen. And I retweeted it because I'm like, it feels like The Walking Dead sometimes, Abe. For those who are familiar with that show, where you go from one house and you hope it has supplies and you hope it don't got zombies, but there's a lot more zombies out here than there are supplies.
I just kept watching news, bro. I just kept watching news. It's like news article after news article of, doom and doom and doom and doom. And it's like, damn, dog. Like we
gotta be more like us. It's gotta be more like us. It's got
like somebody's got to say something. Like, and I think
no, I was gonna say real quick. I do follow this Chat GPT page, and it put a newspaper on blast. I don't know if you saw this. The newspaper, whoever wrote the newspaper, used Chat GPT for the article. Not a big deal, but in the very last part of the article, it read this, Abe. It said the last sentence is driven by lower interest rates and the launch of new models across conventional, hybrid, and plug-in hybrid engine. The last paragraph goes, if you want, I can also create an even snappier front page style version with punchy one line and a bold infographic ready layout.
Oh, damn.
That's in a newspaper article. They circled.
Whoa.
They put ChatGPT asking them, do you want me to go in further details? They left it in the article.
Right.
Somebody got fired that day. So I see that, and I'm just like, no matter what, because this is made by human beings, some of the funniest shit is still going to happen. Like the most hilarious, like, are you kidding me right now? You just let that.
Dude, honestly, like, if AI is going to take over all social media, all media in general, and it's just going to be AI talking to itself on media, maybe we start doing more outside shit, human shit. Like maybe we get off of that shit. Maybe we get off of it eventually. It's possible.
But you know what I think is also interesting, and I know we spent a lot of the conversation, but this is important, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are not as interested in AI. This is the topic of topics. But you see that ChatGPT said it will no longer be offering financial advice, health advice, or financial advice. And I saw somebody make the point, well, of course they're going to do that because those are probably the jobs that contacted the government and said, oh, you're not replacing us yet as accountants. You're not replacing us yet as the people who are responsible for these three positions, like financial advisors. And if that's a possibility, I can't help but believe this bubble is going to pop. And when it does, the human beings who are so pro AI and anti-human, it's nothing wrong with you be pro AI, cool. But when you're anti-human in the same breath, you're gonna be stuck with us in a second when they use up your prompting abilities, your tastemaker abilities. When they use you and move on, you still gonna need your brothers out here, your sisters out here.
But why can't they say, oh, sorry, I can't generate a piece of music for you too? That's against our,
that would be nice.
Yeah, like if they could do that for other industries, why can't they?
I say that to say we get attacked first. So I look at it and say, well, maybe we'll at some point get some kind of, because a lot of times people use this as incentive to get elected. So maybe that's the thing where they're waiting for this to be on the last end of it. Like, I'll give you one. How about this? I'll be the first president to regulate AI on music specifically. I feel like they use this and they wait for a perfect timing to do it. But you're right. Like, people fought to get parental advisory stickers on NWA albums. They fought. They protested out. Dolores Tucker protested outside the White House for just the sticker.
Yo, we might need to go to the White House one day and just like do a little protest, just chill outside, do a little press conference, do a little Reggie Jackson,
I'm saying like can we not get a well, I see Netflix
Yo,
started doing
if there's a congressperson listening to this interview and that wants to introduce a bill to support us creators, hit us up, please. We would love to support that. We would love to support that. You know what I mean?
I'll be out there with no hat and a hairline. I have a hairline sprayed on just for that.
If you're listening, Rashida Tlaib, call me. Ilhan Omar, call me.
Yeah,
please.
That's important. It's important. Can you talk about, because this was an area of focus that really initially kind of got us having this conversation. What things are, we kind of covered this already, but is there anything else that you want to mention that BeatStars is doing specifically to look out for producers moving forward? Because I think a lot of folks, they put their faith in your business because it's their livelihood that's affected as well.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen, man, the partnership with Lemonade has been dope. And we got to get a Curtis King model going for sure. We have to figure that out. But we got a DJ Payne 1 model. You know, we've got a Lex Luger model. We got
what is it, by the way, for those who are never familiar?
A Cato model. So we've got these individual trained, highly fine-tuned music models that are only trained on MIDI from each individual producer. So like DJ Payne 1 gave us like, I don't know, 1,000 MIDI of his original melodies, his original chords. Same thing with all the other guys. And we built a custom model that's only trained on their material that you can subscribe to and generate chords, melodies, other elements, extend stuff. And you can basically collab with Payne in an unlimited way. Where he still retains all his rights because it's only trained on his music. So it's his intellectual property. So every placement that comes out of that collaboration is a DJ Payne 1 or Lex Luger, placement that includes them as a copyright owner in the new song.
They're getting compensated as well. I mean, of course they are. You're involved in this, of course.
And then producers are paying them a monthly fee to access unlimited amounts of loops and melodies and stuff from them.
Hit me up. I didn't know, because I saw the advertisement for it, but I got in my AI, anything with dealing with AI and music.
I know, but it's yours. We don't listen.
I immediately be like,
yeah, these are Payne can call us right now and say, shut that shit down, delete all the files. That's his shit. We give him all the rights for that. It's his model. It's not BeatStars' model. So, or Lemonade. But Lemonade has been a great partnership. We got some crazy stuff linked up with them that we're going to introduce next year. And you're going to love it, bro. You're going to love it.
And when it's that time, when you launch, you always welcome to come back and I'm always a partner. Even if I'm not making predominantly producer content, I was talking to
sports, my Warriors and your Lakers, you know what I mean?
Come on, man. We're trying to keep it peaceful here, man. Both our teams going through transitional years right now.
I love Austin Reeves, though. I love Austin Reeves.
Cold. He's so cold. Him and Luke is so cold. It's to the point now where I'm like, I guess I'm looking forward to LeBron coming back, but it's so much chemistry right now with this squad.
I feel like LeBron didn't come back. I think he could have came back. But I think he's trying to see if these guys can all kind of figure out some shit together alone, and then he can plug himself in where he fits in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you don't want him playing 40+ minutes. You don't want him playing the same at this age. It don't make no sense. But
same thing with us. Same thing with us. Same thing with us with Steph. We rely too much on Steph. We depend on too much.
Steph a free agent in the sneaker market. We getting Steph in some Nikes now, and not them god awful body armor. I don't know what is it.
Under Armour. Body armor.
I could never get into
it. I bought Steph shoes. I had to support the guy, but they were not comfortable. They were terrible to wear. I hated them.
Not being comfortable. Like, if you go, my thing is this. Like, I got some New Balances, right? And my wife first told me, like, you should get these as the most comfortable shoes ever. I said, my grandmother used to wear those on her morning walks. I'm gonna wear some, and then I put them on. I said,
yeah, right.
I'm gonna wear those on my morning walks.
You ain't got a pair of Brooks yet. You ain't got a pair of Brooks or Hokas yet. Come on, man. 40+. You gotta get with the program, brother.
I don't want these kids unking me. I don't want these kids unking me to death, man. So
I love being on.
I'm embracing. I got one more question for you, and definitely wanted to talk on anything else that you wanted to. But if you had to pick one bold prediction, because everybody's making them right now, where will music production and beat licensing be perhaps in 5 years? Changed because of AI, unchanged, or unrecognizable?
I think as long as copyrights still exist and BeatStars continues innovating in ways where artists and producers can still experiment and innovation, explore and express themselves in so many different ways, and we have all of the proper channels to manage rights and music publishing and master royalties, I really believe BeatStars can be the biggest rights management company in the world. If we could scale music production and scale music, just song generation as quickly as these fake ass wanksters, and do it legit, whatever. What do we call these guys? I'm trying to come up with a name for these guys. You know what I mean? I don't know.
The ones ahead of like these tech companies.
Yeah, something. I don't know.
I'm on the tech bros. I'm like, I say they go to tech bros. They go to tech bros. Tech bros is on the way. Look at them. Look at they tech broing up. Oh, I can't. I can't.
We might have to check them when we see them.
I'm like, what rapper bullied you when you was in high school? Because it must have been a producer or a rapper that bullied you coming up. Because there's no way that you were like, I'm finally in a position. I'm going to make everybody.
I wanted to be a rapper, and now I'm the fucking rapper.
Now I'm the one that has the ice.
I shut those guys down.
Who's your label owner now? Like, yeah,
anyway,
I just can't help think of something like that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if we could innovate like we have planned, and we could do the rights management and all the legal stuff that we're doing with CRA, the Creator Rights Agency, BeatStars Publishing, collecting on masters and publishing, and detect it, identify it, attribute it, know where all the rights are going, and we could help people. I think we could be one of the biggest music companies in the world, bro. I think, you know what's crazy? We've been here 17 years, and I feel like it's very possible BeatStars hasn't even had its moment yet.
I believe that. I believe that because I feel like
because of this AI shit.
Because of the AI shit, but then also too, and I've stressed this as much in this conversation as I can. You are part of that ingredient, an incredible team that I'm sure you have, but you're part of that ingredient of, I've always seen you as somebody who is going to, at a flip, all right, let's figure this out. Even if it is even if it's not the best answer in the moment, it's the best one that we can think of. Let's do it. And let's do that. And then we're going to keep working on it until we perfect it. I think your dedication has been something that a lot of producers have seen. And even the folks who may even be critical of the platform, they've seen the way that you guys have continuously evolved. Anybody who joined your platform 10 years ago versus now, they've seen how many features you have just in the customization of your pro page, just in the way that the files are uploaded, and the fact that you guys are still ahead of the curve when it comes to even the way that AI is being utilized and sometimes even being predatory on producers. That just shows you have owners and you have a team that is active at the wheel. And that's, to me, that will give me all the comfort in the world if I'm a full-time producer selling beats on this platform, for sure.
Yeah, you know what, Curtis? You got to come talk to our team. You got to, like, one of these days, we got to have you come internally because we got a bunch of writers, bro. We got a bunch of writers. Everyone is so passionate about people. We're all passionate about helping people succeed. Every single person at the company is bought in on the same mission. And I didn't have that for all the years that I've been at BeatStars. You know what I mean? That was hard to put together. That was like, there's been 17 years. We've gone through so many different iterations of like culture and team and stuff like that. And this is the moment I feel like, you know, we have really like solidified our identity as a company. And it's, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting to see. It's exciting to see, man.
Man, we're excited.
But listen, I don't want to talk no more. I'm saying, like, the next time I come back, next time we come back, I want to make sure that we have something like solid to show the community, to show the world that all of this effort, all of this investment, all of this, like, this hard work that we're putting in is actually something that's going to change the world in a positive way. And I hope, and that's the goal, man. And I hope we get there. You know,
you're already doing it, man. And round of applause one more time. This is incredible. This is everything and more of what I hope the conversation will be with Abe, man. This is legendary stuff.
Appreciate you, man.
So any final words, any anybody who is interested in signing up for BeatStars and wants to know more about it, or just any final words in general for the producers who are out here who are You know, they're nervous for good reason. Any words of encouragement for them?
Yeah, listen, guys, millions of songs are being made on BeatStars every single month, millions, and you know, over 100 Billboard 100 hits, and not even that's just what we can count. There's probably a lot more. People like, and you know what's so beautiful about it? All these placements, all these hits, all these things that's happening. It's not always from like the same producer. It's like always a different creator that gets recognized for their talent out of nowhere from a different village here or different country here or different place. And it's just beautiful to see that magic in a bottle happen every time where songs are getting made on BeatStars. You know, it's not just a place where entrepreneurship can really be built and harnessed. Like, listen, man, the $20 a month or $20 a year starter plan to upload unlimited tracks and be part of the marketplace, be part of the community, host your music, share your music is nothing, man. Like we're losing money on that plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I signed up, I signed up again recently, right? Because I'm just getting back into selling beats, and I was like, "Wait, it's not monthly anymore." I said, "It's a year." I said, "For a year?" I said, "Oh man,
just drop your stuff, be part of the community.
No excuse anymore.
Be consistent. Build something. Use the promotional tools. Connect with other creators on the platform. Collab.
Incredible."
It's just, it's a numbers game, and it doesn't happen overnight. It don't happen overnight. Building a business, it's like you got to invest, you got to put it in, you got to put the work in. But that's what a lot of people fail to do, right? A lot of people are scared to put that much effort and work into building something. And so that's what differentiates you versus the people that's like, I uploaded a beat yesterday and I've been there for 2 months and I haven't sold a beat. And
oh, you still using BeatStars? That don't work. I've been signed up for a month and I got no sales. The whole system is done. The whole system is done because I don't know what I'm doing. Beatselling that's the funniest one. Hey, everybody, I just want to let you know, I walk into this room to tell you that Beatselling is dead.
How do they know?
No, Abe, I know this is going to crack you up because you got the actual analytics. What about the people who pop up in the comments and say only like 72% of producers are actually even getting traffic to their page? Where does that stat come from?
I have no
I'm
idea.
just making numbers up, but I'm like, what is that stat
how they know? How they know? I just want to know. And it'll be like someone with like 5 followers on Twitter. You know what I mean? I'm like, how do you know it's dead?
Well, you know why? Because I used to work in tech. And like, that's always, I used to work in tech.
We're having more traffic on the website than ever before. There are more transactions and more downloads of beats than ever before. I don't know how they know. I
say, could it be possibly that it's your music? No. There's no way. There's no way that my product is A1. Okay. Just you might, if I am a florist and every rose inside of my store is dead, I can't blame the economy. I can't blame the traffic. I have to at some point say, maybe I should make these roses be alive again if I want to sell something. And I think a lot of people are they're taking their very sloth-like and lazy habits and they're looking at AI as like, man, this is the magic elixir. I don't have to learn music theory. I already didn't want to learn it. I don't have to learn how to
TikTok, or I just, it's like
I gotta mix nothing. I don't gotta write nothing. Oh man. And then I can get and then I can gamify Spotify and I can be whoever I want. It's like getting a creative player that gets you real life money.
Oh man.
It's insane to even look at.
Just build a real business, put effort into your music, and really come on, learn business first, learn business first. But Curtis, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you once again. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. I will definitely be tapping in with y'all soon. Make sure you share this, like this video, and all that good stuff. Abe, we thank you again, sir.
Peace out.
DIY.